What's up, YouTube? You're Inside the Edge, and I'm back with another video. Thank you guys for tuning in. Bull fans, if you're new to this channel, be sure to subscribe. I'm going to be doing a lot of content, a lot of upcoming off-season moves. I'm going to keep you guys posted, updated, and this is the channel for you guys. And today I want to talk about Darius Bazley, a guy that can contribute to Chicago with his athleticism. Him being 6'9", and with a arm wingspan of 7 feet. This guy can be a versatile player for Chicago. And as of right now, he played out his last contract with the Suns. He actually signed a 4-year, $11 million contract with Oklahoma City. His first, 4 years was guaranteed money. This guy came into the league, and just his story as well. He didn't do the whole college route, so he did have a orthodox type of way of coming into the league. But it seems like he's still a player that's going to be on the market in this free agency, and I think Chicago should be aggressive in signing him. I don't think he's going to be too much of a pricey player, but I do think he can contribute and be a really fantastic player for the Chicago Bulls. So with that being said, guys, I can just say, what can Bazley provide for the Chicago Bulls? Like I mentioned, his youth, his athleticism. He's a guy that can run in transition. A lot of alley-oop plays. This guy is long. He uses his body to his full ability when he's posting up, when he's doing head fakes, when he's playing in the post. He can play the power forward spot. You can maybe throw him at small forward time to time, but I feel like he can complement Patrick Williams. I think he can be a really compliment player towards him, even though I know Patrick Williams will most likely be the Bulls starter next season at the power forward. I think Bazley can complement him as far as if injury happens. It looks like, to me, I would think Bazley can fill in that starting role lineup. I think they're both kind of similar players. I would just say Bazley is more offensively gifted than Patrick Williams. But I think with what he can do with the floor on offense and defense, I think is going to really help out the Chicago team. And what I kind of mentioned with Vooch, everybody's saying, should we bring back Vooch? The only reason why I'm not on board with re-signing Vooch is because defensively, I don't think he contributes enough defensively for us to really make stops and really to go on a deep run when we're having to play Joel Embiid or Giannis Antetokounmpo. When we play superstars like that, Vooch is not a defender where he can stay in front of his guy that can really stop, these superstars. So I definitely think Chicago needs more depth as far as, a two-way player. And I think Bazley is that player that can really help this Chicago team. Now, looking at his previous years, I know also a lot of Bull fans will say, well, if we're going to get a player, he needs to at least be a good three-point shooter. Well, last year, even though he only played a few games with the Suns, and he didn't really have a longevity season last year, but he did shoot 40% from three-point range. And even throughout his career, he's been pretty solid. Coming into his rookie year, he shot 34% from three, and then his numbers declined. The last past 3 seasons it declined, but I still believe that he can still be a decent three-point shooter. I still think his jump shot is really smooth. The only thing that I would say about Bazley as far as offensively, the only thing that I see that he struggles with sometimes is he would drive to the lane, and sometimes he doesn't have good body control where he forces up layups, and he doesn't really get a good angle at the basket. So sometimes he can be a streaky player, but overall with his youth, I still think he can experience a lot more. And I think if he's given the right position, I think he can really contribute a lot to a team. And I think Chicago is a perfect fit for him because of his athleticism, and just what he can do for Chicago. I think is something we're really, really lacking. This guy can crash the boards. And like I mentioned before, his arm span being 7 feet wide, this dude can block shots, rebound, and do all that good stuff. And I think he can really help Chicago in that paint area, protecting the paint, being that defensive anchor. And no one is really talking about this guy, but I still think he has a lot of potential. Even when you look at his numbers, I know career-wise he's only averaging 5 points, but that's not the whole story to his career. There's more to it. Him falling out of the rotation at OKC, that was kind of why he declined. I don't believe it was so much of his game, but I just think because of so many new pieces at Oklahoma City, He just kind of fell out of the rotation. So now it's all about him finding a new home. But I really hope that Chicago can really go after Bazley because of what he can bring to the table. And like I said, he definitely has a little bit of flaws, but if he can just polish up his game, as far as being a better three-point shooter, being a better mid-range shooter, I think he can contribute a lot to Chicago. And also one thing I feel like he could also get better at is in the pick and roll game. If he can be able to pick and roll and just develop more of a mid-range shot after the roll, I think he can really be dangerous offensively. But I also think that Chicago in this offseason, they need to look for a guy with a stature like Bazley, someone that is 6'8", somebody with long arms, someone that can play defense and contribute on offense. And like I said, Bazley is that player, and I think he's just the perfect fit for Chicago. He can be in our 8th-man rotation, and I really feel confident that if he does become a part of the Chicago team, I think Patrick Williams and Bazley will complement each other, and I think it will be a really good position for him. So I just wanted to just give you guys some thoughts on a player that Chicago should go after in free agency. I don't want to make this video too long, but I want to hear Bull fans what you guys think about possibly the Bulls signing Darius Bazley.